Hi everyone, my name's Steve Rowe. Today I'd like to talk about martial arts and driving your car. Might sound a bit odd, but actually it's quite relevant. One of the problems we often get when we're coaching is we end up giving people a long list of things to do. So we might say, do this from the feet, do this with your legs, do this with your hips, waist, arms, left arm, right arm, head, eyes, etc. And then when they're trying to do it, and we say, you're not doing this or you're not doing that, they're like, oh, I've got too much to remember. And of course, the idea is you're given a list of things to do, but the skill is making them one thing. So I suppose maybe passing from left thinking mind to right spatial mind. But the point is, when you're doing martial arts, you're actually only doing one thing. And people say, but you can only do that when you're really advanced. Well, my answer to that is, did you drive to the dojo? Yes. So when you first learnt to drive, you were told, do this with the accelerator, this with the brake, this with the clutch, this with the indicators, don't forget the mirror, don't forget people coming, walking across the road, and so on and so forth. A lot to remember. And you're in a moving vehicle, and you've got to brain map the vehicle so that you know where the edges, the front and the back are. So actually that's quite a bit. But most of us learn to drive. But when you got in your car, you didn't think all that, you just drove. So if you get in your car and you just drive, in martial arts, why can't you just do martial arts? So you're aware of, you've got to do this with your legs, your feet, your hips, this with an opponent, that with an opponent, and so on. You've got lots of things to remember, but no more than if you was driving. And all your life, if you work on it, you can become a better driver. And in the same way in martial arts, you can become a better martial artist. So don't get confused. People go, oh, it takes a lifetime to master this and master that. Rubbish. Every time you train, you get better than you were last time. Every time you drive, if you drive mindfully, you should be a better driver than you were last time. Hopefully, if you've been driving 20 years, you should be a 20-year driver and not an idiot. Exactly the same in the martial arts. Every time you train, you get better, but it's really important. We have this ability. We need to brain map our entire body from the inside, but it is just one thing. We have a list of things to remember each time we're coached, but we take them in from the edges. Often when I'm doing my Tai Chi form, I'm just doing Tai Chi. I'm just enjoying it. Yeah, I'm getting as much enjoyment as I can from the movement. But while I'm doing it, in my mind, I can see, I didn't do this, and I didn't do that, and I should have done this. But I don't fret about it. I don't worry about it. My mind just makes a note of it, and I make it better. I make it better the next time I do that movement. So by not worrying, by not fretting, by just doing Tai Chi or just doing martial arts, you have a kind of mental attitude where you can understand it a lot better. Beginners will always have to work in this, just like you did when you started driving. But what happens is the driving instructor will get you driving that car as soon as he can. He'll go, drive. He'll explain a few things, and you go along and you're like, ugh. But at the end of the day, pretty quickly, you pick up the idea of this is just driving. My job as a coach with my students is to get them to understand, yes, I'm giving you a list of things to do, but you are just doing martial arts. You're just doing Tai Chi, or you're just doing Kung Fu, or whatever. And if you pick up a weapon, you brain map that weapon. Exactly the same as when you go under a low bridge in a car, you duck, because you brain map the car as part of your body. You naturally do that. So learning to naturally brain map, one, the inside of your body, and secondly, weaponry, it just becomes a natural extension to your body very quickly. It honestly does not take years and years of training. It's a way of thinking. That's important. Thank you very much.